really pushing me. And I had no peace completely to remain in the bank. I was getting a good salary and I was supporting my husband and we were feeling comfortable. But I couldn't continue. It was so heavy and very deep in my spirit. I had to leave. And so that day I just handed over my resignation letter and I left.
This time, the choice she was making might seem crazy to many, but to her, it was a spiritual calling. She made the decision to leave her job and attend Bible school, and that was the beginning of her journey to become a pastor. But even her husband was puzzled this time, as he couldn't figure out why his wife decided to quit her job. It was something he didn't quite understand.
I did not told my husband that I was going to that Bible school. Immediately I left that reception, that's when I called him and I told him, you know what, I've just signed up to join a college, a Bible school. And he said, that's crazy. You just left your job and now you want to go. How are we going to be able to pay and you have left your job? I really didn't even care, because the moment I signed up to join Bible school, I felt a lot of peace and I knew God was going to supply. And so I just told him, don't worry, God will supply. And that is what happened. I started school my Bible school the following day, and I went through a 4 years course, and I completed my Bachelor of Arts in Theology and Counseling Psychology. That one, and the moment I accepted to go to Bible school, because I'd been struggling with the call for a long time. I'd refused and I decided to go and work. But the moment I accepted to go to Bible school, God did miracles for my husband. He even got a better job. He was paid more money, like he was being compensated for what, I had left. And life became better for the family. I went on, I finished my Bible school. When I finished my Bible school, now we began to look around for a place where we could begin a church. I carried a burden for the poor, because you remember where I came from, and I wanted to see lives changed for the better. I wanted to see lives transformed. We were able to locate a good place. I partnered with another pastor whom we were together in Bible school, called Pastor Isaac, and we located a good place, and we leased. Initially we began by leasing the place. Then later on, when my husband also bought into the vision, he saw that I was very committed and he came in to help us. And so he went on and took a bank loan for us to buy the land.
When they started the ministry this time, everything went smoothly. They were able to pay off all the loans they had taken, and on top of that, they initiated several positive activities to assist people from various places. Their efforts not only helped them clear their financial obligations, but also allowed them to engage in meaningful activities that benefited others from different communities. It was a time of progress and positive impact.
The ministry began. I can say the ministry began well. We began a feeding program. We were feeding the people around Imara Daima. We began also a music studio for the youth. The young people were able to change from drugs. They came in and that music did miracles. A lot of young people, their lives were changed. Apart from the music studio, I put up a very beautiful music studio for the youth. And I also had a burden for the women. So I put up a bakery, a confectionery bakery, to train the women and empower them so that they can develop skills and also be able to go and start their own small shops. And we got women were able to train there. Youth were also training, and the church was blossoming. Things were doing well. I remember the other day I met one of the women that we trained there, and she told me she still bakes up to today, and that's what feeds up, has been feeding her all along. And the feeding program, I remember I got a testimony from a lady all the way from Eldoret. She said that the unga the flour that I gave her, she went to start a mandazi baking. And up to today, she's still doing it and feeding her family using that business. So I saw lives being transformed.
They were involved in various good deeds, positively impacting not only their own lives, but also the lives of others. However, life can take unexpected turns, and sometimes things can go wrong in a very short moment. One day, an unforeseen event occurred that took everyone by surprise. It was something they couldn't believe, and nobody else could have imagined it happening either.
Unfortunately, something happened, and one day I was away from the church, and I used to have some young men who used to sleep in the studio, just doing their music and also taking care of the equipment. And this night, I think at around 2 a.m. in the morning, I received a call, and they said, "Pastor, something bad is happening here in church." I said, "What is the problem?" They said a truck has just come in carrying policemen, and they have come with a lot of, they are carrying guns, and they are also carrying mallets, and they are already pulling down the church. They are destroying everything right now as we talk. And I told them, okay, just run and try to rescue the equipment from the studio, try to rescue the equipment from the church, and they see what you can save. And so they tried their best to rescue the equipment from the studio. The studio had cost me like 500,000 Kenyan shillings. All that equipment, a lot